Happy Tuesday, everybody. Listen, it's a nice one. It's a nice basketball March Madness Tuesday. We got the Knicks tonight. Everything is coming together well with college basketball. We get to see some of the elite young guys get busy. I love March. March has always been my favorite basketball month. I love March Madness. And in that theme and keeping that energy going, we got some business to handle. We got this is a big month for us, big basketball month for us as fans, as an organization. This is a big month. Having the Knicks is the beginning. We get this win tonight. That's the statement win we need this month. We need a statement win and about a 3 to 5 game win streak to really put us in a space where we can go and be a little bit more go into April with a little more comfortability. Because right now, we can't stumble into April. I don't want to see us stumbling and fumbling into April. I want us to walk into April with our heads held high and ready to take on the playoff responsibilities. But right now, we got 29 more days left. And it's all work and it's all pain. But like I said, we got the Knicks tonight. You know what I mean? This is an important game. But everything that comes after this game is just as important as this game is. Because regardless if we win or if we lose, we still in the trenches. The 5th seed it still feel like we in the trenches. Like we're not home free at all. You know what I mean? We're fighting for our playoff lives. 10 games above 500. If you would have told me that 10 games above 500 wouldn't get us any breathing room, I promise you I wouldn't have believed you. But that's the position we're in. Even with a 10-game cushion, there's no comfortable moment in sight for the rest of the season. So it got no easier. I appreciate the fact that we're in position, but this is, listen. If you would have told me having a 10-game cushion wouldn't provide us with any type of relief at all, this is a tense-ass moment. To be in this position and still have this level of tension in the air is crazy. But it is what it is. I take it for what it is. We're going to need a statement game and 3 to 5 games, a win streak in order for us to get out of this month with our heads held high, to be honest with you. Because we're going to pick up those spares because a lot of teams are still tanking. A lot of teams are going to make mistakes. We're going to have opportunities to win games, but we still need a 3 to 5 game win streak and a statement win to really put us in position where we can exhale a little bit more. Because we don't want to go into April still having to do some heavy lifting because guys are going to have to start being rested a little bit more. We can't keep putting the pressure on Scotty and BI to hold us down the way they've been holding. They've been the most consistent players, our all-star players. Most teams who have all-stars, they are being pampered. They're allowed to sit out games. Our all-star players are forced to perform to carry that water up the hill every game. At some point, we're going to have to put them in a space where they can chill for a second to get ready for the playoff run, or we risk burning them out or injury. So, I mean, I don't want to stay 5th, to be honest with you. Like, I don't like this space we're in. We're too close to a lot of crazy moments occurring. You know what I mean? Like, this has to be a statement month. Like, we can talk about how much this Knicks game is a statement game, but this has to be a statement month, a separation month for us. You know what I mean? We got to get out of this survival mode. And like I said, we can't stumble into April because April has its own responsibilities attached to it. Unfortunately, there is no rest. We got to take care of this business. And we can't go into April desperate. Like we can't, I don't like the fact that we're hovering around 5th. We're too close to 8th. We're 3.5 games away from 4th or 3rd where the Knicks are. And we're 3.5 games away from 8th. Where Miami and Orlando, we leapfrogged Orlando and Miami and the Sixers as far as production this season. Those 3 teams used to be thorns in our sides, and they're pretty much rivals of ours, along with everybody else in the East. But those 3 teams normally You know what it was in Miami with Gabe Vincent and all them dirty plays and the Sixers and Miami and Orlando being the young upstart team and us trying to be in that space that they're in. And we've definitely done that. I wanted us last season to be in a position where we can be looked at and have the production and the momentum that a young Orlando team had, and we have that. We have it in our own way, but we have it. They made some dumb trades. They let go of Cole Anthony, which is crazy. He was a big part of this second unit. And now look at them. You know what I mean? But we're too close to being eighth or seventh or even sixth. And our playoff, I'm not going to even talk about the playoff matchups. Like that shit is going, that's ill too. That's crazy work too. But where we are right now, we got to get away from the position we're in as far as hovering in fifth because we can, two or three game losing streak at the worst possible time, it can start to unravel a lot of the good we've done this season and change the complexion of these narratives that we have. Like I love us being in a playoff team, but there's still responsibilities with the position. We're not cleared yet. This for the rest of the year, there is no comfort to be had. It's constant battles, constant work, constant competitive nature that we have to have. We have to continue to jump over hurdles and achieve things as a team. There's no rest. Until we're eliminated in the playoffs, there's no rest. And even then, we'll only get to rest for a second to get ready for the next season. Because next season is going to have more expectation than this season. This season has set the tone as far as expectation and realistic expectations for this team. Of course, we're going to shoot for the stars. Of course, we want it all. But at least we can be a baseline playoff team. That's at least the minimum we're going to accept from this point on. So they have to at least, I don't care how they do it financially, we have to stay at this level at the least. We've done it with the least amount of money spent that they can possibly fathom. That's why they didn't want to invest anymore, because they want to see how much more we can do with what we already got before we improve. And also, when I think of the luxury tax and the team not really wanting to invest, when I really thought about it, the only time teams really invest, front offices really invest in teams, is when they're able to monopolize a portion of the game. So that, and it gives them something to invest in. It inspires the investment because there's a portion of the basketball game that they can rely on that's their own, that they can leverage to the max to get the victories and put themselves in a position to win a championship. Every team that's in championship conversations monopolize a certain style, a certain portion of the basketball game throughout the flow of the game. They have their own signature thing that they do that they can leverage, portion of the game that they monopolize that enables them to win games no matter who they're playing against. That monopolization of that portion of the game, the thing that they do so well within a 48-minute span, enables them to beat just about anybody on any given night, no matter what, is key to investments. Front offices aren't going to invest until you get that portion of the game solidified. And it's important. And a lot of teams don't have that yet. We're still trying to figure that out. We're still trying to get that done. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but it has to be done in order for us to achieve what we want to achieve. And tonight is the beginning of, listen, how serious are you with being a problem in the East? Right now, we're competitive. We're not contenders. We're not real threats to come out the East unless a miracle kind of happens in the playoffs. Somebody catches fire, we start clicking at the right time, teams acquire injuries that they can't overcome, and we're just outperforming them. These certain things have to come. Certain Disney moments have to happen. But when there's a reality base and you perform, you don't need as many miracles. You can simply just beat a team. Right now, we're not in that space where we can just beat any and everybody. We'll have our moments. We're going to have our opportunities. And that's the greatest first step that you can possibly take in this new direction that we're taking. But I'll tell you one thing. I'd rather have this than what we had the last few years. This is a definite upgrade. And you got to appreciate it. And I definitely appreciate the process and the progress that we've definitely had. in the moments that we are having. But at some point, the desire for more is going to start to creep in, and we're in that space where we're going to desire more. Let's see how far we can go before we start to tinker and tailor it to get the real basketball performances and execution that we need to get where we're trying to go realistically. Right now, we're playing with house money. That's a reality. Like we're in a position that we've wanted to be in, but there's responsibilities that come with playing with house money. Unfortunately, it's not as free. It's not a freer style of basketball as it would insinuate. When people say house money, it just makes it seem like it's this free and clear gambling moment with no responsibility. But there are responsibilities because there's consequences. And whenever there's consequences, there's responsibilities. And most importantly, in this moment of us playing basketball, we have to enable our team to grow professionally, which means certain guys are going to have to be put in the mix, in the fire, when it might not be an inopportune time. How do we know if they can deal with the pressure if we don't put them in a pressurized moment? And there's but so much you can do with the starting five continuously before something starts to fracture. Everybody's getting paid to do a job. Everybody's available to play, and everybody has to get an opportunity to play. And everybody got to do their job. And honestly, we have to find out who the weak links are when the heat is on. You know what I mean? We got to find out who performs well. Where are our diamond players? Which players deal with the pressure the best? And we're going to have to find that out. And the only way to do that is to put them in the mix. Throw their asses in the fire. See what happens. Put them under pressure. See if they crack. And it might not be perfect, but it has to happen. But most importantly, we're in a good situation to go for fourth. I think fourth is better. We can go for third, but I honestly believe Cleveland is going to end up third seed. Cleveland with James Harden are a problem. They look like the third seed. And I would rather Cleveland deal with the Sixers in the first round than us right now, because we know how that plays out. We know they'll get away with a whole lot of violence towards Scotty. And if Scotty gets hurt, then that's the series. It's harder to beat them with the injured Scotty, because we already know Joel Embiid is going to hurt him. That's what Nick Nurse is going to go for. Playing physical and hurting Scotty. Not so much injuring him, but hurting him to the point where he can't play his style of basketball to the max. We can't win with the 85, 75% Scotty going up against 100% rested Joel Embiid and the Sixers and Tyrese Maxey. And it's going to be an uphill battle. I would rather Cleveland at the third seed go up against them with the six. And I'd rather us play against the Knicks in the first round than anybody. The Knicks are vulnerable as hell. They are. The Detroit Pistons have their number. They've already been demoralized. They've already been dealt with as far as that confidence level and them being clear contenders. That's out of the question. Detroit has put them to bed, tucked them nicely. That conversation is over. Boston, with Jason Tatum coming back, is going to be a problem. They have no answers for that. And now Cleveland, they have no answers for that either. I like our chances against the Knicks because they're vulnerable. Their confidence is shaken. They got this new coach at it sounded great, the Knicks getting a new coach. But now they have to figure out how to play within that new system, which normally takes a year with a new system. But these expectations are so high. This is not like Michael Jordan and the Bulls and the triangle offense. It's not like, and even when they took on the triangle, they failed the first year. They failed the first season with all those expectations. Now the Knicks are in a position where they have this new system and this new coach, and the players that they thought were going to shape out didn't shape out, and then there's this friction between the players. They're vulnerable. The narratives that are floating around about the Knicks, this is the perfect time. This is the perfect time to get their ass up out of there. We meet them in the first round. I like our chances. I don't think Jalen Brunson can beat us by himself in the first round. By himself? Fuck out of here. And he doesn't believe in the big man that they have, Carl Anthony. He's going to have to rely more on that. I think if he takes 30 shots against us, they're not going to beat us. Especially with Yak coming back. They're going to need Carl Anthony Towns, which means they're going to have to give him the rock and trust him after they already broke his confidence. I like our chances against them. And they're not even using OG the way they're supposed to. So the Knicks are vulnerable. I'd rather deal with the Knicks in the first round than the Cleveland Cavaliers or the 76ers or anybody like that, because it's a tougher uphill battle. I like our chances against the Knicks in the playoffs. You know what I mean? But most importantly, we got to get this March Madness taken care of. And once we do that, we can go into April, on a high. I would love for us to go into April on a high. We have to. Because with a stronger position and more confidence, it'll enable us to really step into the playoffs to deal with the shit that we about to deal with. And to be honest with you, a lot of the players that we have, since we have like the third youngest team in the NBA, this is the most important basketball they've ever played in their life. So you want them to be as confident as possible, dealing with the pressure and the expectation and the conversations and the narratives and that whole pageantry of the playoffs being the second season and the real season in the NBA. I would rather us go into April, because everyone starts to cruise in April, and we can still pick up some wins and let our bench play a little bit more and rest guys systematically and strategically, and then get ready for the playoffs and have everybody really at the highest heights as far as capability and achievement and possibilities that we can have. But like I said, I'd rather us see the fucking Knicks in the first round. Oh, give us the Knicks. Give us the Knicks in the first round. I'll take that. But the other, Cleveland or the Sixers, it's going to see there's an SAT test over there. But I'd rather us go into to April with the streak going, because if we go into there stumbling, it's going to be tougher to make up the ground and get our footing. And it's so important for us to go into the playoffs prepared for the playoffs, as opposed to just being relieved that we survived the regular season, then go into the playoffs, and then now we got to survive the second season, the real season. Nah, that's going to be tough for our young guys to deal with. You know what I'm saying? But we're competing, and that's all we can ask for. We're gonna compete, but we win too inconsistently for us to not take this month seriously. I think next season we're gonna start becoming more consistent winners. And when I say consistent winners, I mean against the top tier teams. We clean up the below 500 teams. We look real. We take care of them. That was like the biggest. That's one of the biggest things that I'm glad that we're able to do this season. Because we used to even have problems with the below 500 teams. We clearly leap over that hurdle with no problem. Now we got to take care of the top 10 teams in the NBA, the top 5 or 6 teams in the East, and make sure that's more of a 50-50 instead of like a 4-15, whatever the fuck. It's crazy. But we need to make it 50-50, more of a 50-50 affair than not. And right now we're not in that position. So we have to start learning how to stack these quality wins and deal with these quality moments. And this is a statement month for us. This could begin the narrative of us accumulating and stacking important and statement wins and quality wins. Because we can get the below 500 wins with no problem. But we got to start stacking those quality wins, because that's what's going to separate us more so from everybody else. Scotty will be rewarded for it. B.I., RJ, if he's still with us, will be rewarded. Quickly will be rewarded. Everybody who's a part of the team will be rewarded, and then some, if we take, especially when we take that next step and start stacking those quality wins and statement wins. This month is important, though. This month is super important. We take care of this month. I honestly believe all we need is a couple of quality statement wins and a 3 to 5 game win streak. We in the building. When April comes, we don't have to push as hard. We don't have to we're already going to get past the 36 wins. We're past that already. But now we're getting into the space of making sure we solidify our position, because it's not solid yet. Someone's going to make a push to go up. Some guys are going to take their foot off the gas. We're somewhere in between all of this motion. So now we have to define what we're going to do. We can't cruise at all. That's out of the question. So we might as well try to go as high as we can and win as many games as we can, and then go into the playoffs on a high note and deal with that real season. Because this is just an 82 game marathon. The playoffs, as we know, is the real season. And we'll deal with that when we get to it. But right now, I just want us to understand, beating this Knicks team tonight isn't as big as the big picture. You know what I mean? We need more than just a statement quality win tonight. We're gonna need maybe one more, and that's that win streak. So whether we beat the Knicks or not, we still could salvage the month with a couple of statement games or quality wins and a win streak, and we're in there. The Knicks are going to try and make a push, but they're mainly just trying to maintain. I would love for them to fall into our lap, and we get them in the first round. If we stay fourth or fifth and we get the Knicks in the first round, that's the best case scenario. I do not want Cleveland in the first round. I don't want the Sixers in the first round either. We get the Knicks, that's the best case scenario. And tonight, whether we beat them or not, I would rather us focus on making the most of the big picture. You know what I mean? Making sure there's a bunch of other quality statement wins that we can. So don't hang our hat too high on this one. Because if we don't get it, we can't overlook the other opportunities to get a statement win and timely win streak to put us in the best position possible, or to even maintain this position that we have. Either way, we can't relax. Tell me what you think in the comment section. If you would have told me 10 games above 500 and we still be fucking counting pennies, shit, I wouldn't have believed it. But I love it though.